Hi, I'm Allison Cline. I'm a perinatal yoga specialist as well as a certified doula and birthing from within mentor. I'd like to do just a mini class with you today. A lot of times you're told as a pregnant person, your doctor will say to you or your practitioner, hey, go take a yoga class, but they're not really sure what that entails. And I really want to stress the importance of going to somebody that is trained to be working with pregnant bodies. So that's not in a general yoga studio class. We're going to pull an affirmation card for today. These are Renegade Mama affirmation cards. I love to use these during yoga and then also in the birth room as well. We all could use some positive energy. So the card that we pulled today says, pregnancy can be tough, but babe, you're tougher. Isn't that the truth? So focusing on creating some space, I'd like for you to find your easy seat. So wiggle on under your sits bones. If you're feeling like you have tight hips, you might take a bolster or something that you can sit on and allow yourself to lean forward. Let your knees to drop forward on your mat. Maybe you roll your shoulders a couple of times back down and away from your ears, allowing yourself to find some softness in your body. Maybe noticing if you have tension in your jaw or in your hands. We say that a lot as doulas during a birth. Relax your hands, your face, your jaw. There's a direct correlation between that tightness, that stiffness in your jaw and in your pelvic floor. When you're clenching here, you're clenching here. So just inviting some softness into your body in this moment. If you're comfortable with your eyes closed, maybe you flutter them closed or you just find a soft gaze. Put a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. And first in this moment here, these couple of breaths, just being a witness to your breath. Not needing to change or do anything, just being aware of your breath. Noticing where the breath lands in your body and where it doesn't. And if you have any pent up sticky energy in the body, perhaps you take a nice long inhale here, fill up your belly, your rib cage, your chest. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And as you're here with your hands on your heart and your hands on your belly, connecting your heart to your baby's heart, set an intention for the day. Maybe it's to create some space in your body, or perhaps it's maybe creating space just for you. Moms can get lost along this journey. We'll start with some sound therapy today. You can keep the eyes closed or continue to find that soft gaze. Go ahead and take your hands to your heart and allow yourself to just practice those low vocal tones that come really handy during labor. It allows us to focus our energy downward. Nice big inhale here, clearing breath. Exhale, let that breath go. And now for the low Om together. Inhale. Let your eyes open if they aren't already. Take a big inhale here, sweep up. Moving meditation here as you exhale your hands through your heart center. Just tracing those energy centers of your body. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, let your hands come down to the heart. One more, just like that big sweep. Inhale, create some space in the middle of the body here. Exhale, hands down through the heart center. On your next inhale, let your right hand come towards the floor, the bolster. Really plug that shoulder down into your socket. Gaze up underneath the armpit and round your upper back as you reach forward. Open up to the other side. Allow yourself creating space. The ribs separate laterally here. Nice. Round off to the other side here once more. Goalpost that top arm. You might look back at your thumb as you open your upper back. Gaze down at that lower shoulder. Goalpost that top arm and cartwheel your hands down in front of you now as you come towards the other side and goalpost that top arm. Notice if you have any tension in your face or your jaw. You might look down at that old other shoulder here and goalpost that top arm. Beautiful. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Give yourself a little hug. And as you give yourself a hug, get that natural oxytocin hormone running through your body here. Find some playfulness in your lower back. Then you might start to take some circles here, stirring at your hips. And go ahead and make these as small or as big as feels comfortable in your body. Stir the hips the other direction. A lot of times we get low back tension, maybe sciatic pain, and just being in your own body. One of the benefits of yoga is just creating that connection to your body. If you feel really disconnected to your body in labor and in birth, that might be more difficult for you to just be in your body and to tune into the sensations and how you and your baby can work together to bring baby earthside. Big inhale here, sweep the arms high. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Go ahead and move any of those props out of the way. Cat-cow can be a really gentle exercise, beneficial in the early stages of labor or anytime leading up to your birth here. As you come to your all fours, spread your fingers really wide. Notice I'm not going to dump really far into my belly. If you're doing that, give yourself a little gentle belly button to spine here, like you're giving baby a little hug, creating a hammock here. If you're okay finding a little gentle movement here, make it mostly in the upper back. You might even pause here in a neutral spine. If you feel any coning or doming, we want to avoid any pulling across the front side of the body to avoid that diastasis rectus. And go ahead and take some hip circles, invite some organic movement into your body. Moving those hip circles in both directions. Let your head, your face, your neck, your jaw relax. And a lot of times, if you have a very strong practice, you'll be wondering if you can continue with that. I say yes, but with just a bit of a modification. In a regular vinyasa flow class, you would take an up dog or a baby cobra within the flow. I never cue those during prenatal yoga classes or postnatal early on, because you want to continue to encourage that knitting of your belly muscles to avoid any splitting across the front side of your body. So we'll take child's pose as an exhale. On your inhale for your modified vinyasa, shift yourself forward. As you exhale, lower chaturanga, press straight back into downward facing dog or into child's pose. As you're in down dog, spread the feet really wide, mat width distance, and begin to just nod your head yes or no. Make sure you're really breathing when you're upside down here in downward facing dog. Lots of extra blood volume pumping through the body. Go ahead and take a walk, feet to hands, being mindful of your props. And you might take just a wide leg forward fold here, maybe cradle the back of the head in your hands. And then with blocks, find a halfway lift, having blocks in front of you or your hands on your shins. Exhale, bend your knees, fold in. Inhale, lengthening here. Exhale, fold in. On your inhale, find your leg, take your hands to the tops of your thighs, sweep up, inhale as you come to the top of your mat. Exhale your hands to your heart. Ground yourself down here at the top of your mat. Feet are about hip width distance apart. Notice, pick up all 10 toes, and as you pick up all 10 toes, allow yourself to be grounded down here. On the inhale, sweep your arms high. On your exhale, a little modified flow here, forward fold. Inhale, find your length, halfway lift, hands on shins or blocks, gazes out as the crown of your head reaches forward. Come down to your knees here. As you come down to your knees, shift back for that modified vinyasa. On your inhale, wrap the belly muscles around baby, take it down, chaturanga. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog or child's pose. So that's a safe modified flow if you'd like to stay with an active flow during pregnancy. I also like to include a discomfort practice, and that's what we'll end with today. Discomfort practice can mean many different things. We'll do a yogi toe stretch here together. So why a discomfort practice? Well, if you haven't had a baby before, I've had 3, having a baby can be uncomfortable. And it's really important to see how our nervous system gets activated, and if we can use our breath to calm our minds and our body. Because the one thing that you are in control of during your labor, it can be your breath. So your doula might say to you, notice your breath and where it's landing in your body. So if you're getting really, really activated, the breath is very, very fast. If you take notice, and your doula might breathe with you, how can we calm ourselves down? So we'll tuck the toes behind us, and as you tuck the toes, this might feel really intense or uncomfortable. That's where we're going with this, but you won't be here forever. If it feels better, roll a blanket or a bolster underneath your sits bones here. I want you to close your eyes. You might rock side to side and take a nice long inhale, nice long exhale. And if thoughts come up or you start to create a story about any of those thoughts, perhaps you can give yourself some space and then send those thoughts off. And we'll take one more breath here. Big inhale. Full exhale. Go ahead and come to all fours and tap the feet out here. Give yourself a nice toe tap. And I always like to end with a nice restorative pose in Shavasana. I've got lots of different options for you. Side lying pose is a great one. Or if you'd really just like to open the front side of our body. Moms, if we're holding other children, find ourselves hunching over a lot. So you'll create a little L shape with a bolster or with a pillow. You want to make sure you're reclining and you're not lying flat on your back to avoid compressing the vena cava in the back, artery in the back, so you do not become dizzy and baby will still receive the oxygen supply that they need. So we'll create an L shape with some blocks here. And as we do that, make sure that you have a nice and stable spot here. I like to put a blanket right here along the base of the bolster. And then a nice way to give yourself a little support on the outer thighs is to wrap up a blanket, take your feet together, soles of your feet together in butterfly pose. And then I'm going to wrap the blanket, cocooning myself here, making sure that my bolster is stable. And I'll go ahead and just maybe even find the pillows for underneath your arms. Really enjoy the front side of your body opening. And just allow yourself to soften into this state of rest.